Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How about a good morning back? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for being here on this lovely Missoula day. My name is John Engen. I have the privilege of serving as mayor of the city of Missoula. And once upon a time, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I went to Hege High School. Some of the best 8 years of my life. I always get that reaction in a crowd like this. Thank you. Thank you, Hege, for representing. But I'd like to welcome my friends from all the other high schools who all make up our great community. You got a bunch of folks here, ladies and gentlemen, who care enough about you to come out on a blustery Missoula day to make sure that you know that you matter and that graduation matters. So you're going to hear from some of those fine folks today. Before we do any of that, you are going to hear from Jayden Gregory, who is a senior at Sentinel High School, and she, this morning, will sing our national anthem. If you please stand and join us for that.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Fantastic, Jayden. How about another round of applause for Jayden Gregory, ladies and gentlemen? And that little noise you heard at the end, that was the ROTC ceremonial cannon, and it goes boom, as it turns out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to welcome to the lectern a friend and a great steward of the community in this university, University of Montana President Royce Engstrom, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mayor Engen. Good morning. Welcome to the University of Montana, Washington-Grizzly Stadium. We're delighted to have all of you here this morning to celebrate the importance of your success and to tell you that we're all rooting for you. We're all interested in seeing you first graduate from high school and then go on to a college education. We need your brain power, we need your energy, and you need it this morning because it's chilly out here, so get the energy going. And we need your creativity. So many opportunities and challenges are before us, right here in Missoula, around the state of Montana, around the country, and around the world. Challenges in business, in the sciences, in the arts, in education, in computing, you name it. There are opportunities out there. In just a few days, we're going to celebrate homecoming this weekend, and we'll have our great football game in this stadium as the Grizz take on Portland State. We want that cannon to go off many times during the course of that game because they fire that cannon every time we score a touchdown. This stadium will be filled with champions, players who will give everything they can to win and to succeed. Their goal is not only to win on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community, graduating from the university so they can tackle those same exciting opportunities that I just spoke to you about. We recently had some pretty amazing people, pretty amazing champions of another kind on this campus. Sandra Day O'Connor is a retired United States Supreme Court judge. She was the first woman ever appointed to the Supreme Court. On the court, she participated in making some of the most important decisions our country has faced in the recent decades. While here, she met with high school students and college students. Her message to our students was pretty simple. Work hard at school, follow your passion, and find work that you love. In her career, she kept graduating, first from high school, then from college, then from law school, then to her first job as a lawyer, and finally to the United States Supreme Court. She kept putting goals in front of herself, and she worked really hard to meet them. 2 weeks ago, Senator Baucus held a summit in Butte on economic development. He brought in chief executive officers from some of the world's most impressive companies, Boeing Aircraft, Google, Ford Motor Company, Facebook. My favorite speaker was a fellow named Elon Musk. As a young man, he founded a company called PayPal, a huge company that made it possible for all of us to do financial transactions over the internet, something we take for granted today. He then went on to start Tesla Car Company, which makes all-electric sports cars that are powerful, that run without using any fuel other than electricity and batteries, and they're super fast. His imagination then led him to start another company, SpaceX, which was the first successful private venture in civilian spaceflight. SpaceX builds rockets to send people into space, and Elon has his eyes on colonizing Mars. He's a dreamer, but he's also a doer. Sandra Day O'Connor and Elon Musk were both high school and college graduates. They've helped shape our country, and they've led exciting lives. I invite you to become the next O'Connor or the next Musk, changing the world around you. Whether you stay right here in Missoula or travel to Mars, graduation will put you on a path of adventure and a life of contribution. Of course, we hope you look to the University of Montana as a place to get your college education, as we think it's among the most exciting learning environments anywhere available in the country. I wish you the best. Thank you for being here today and for putting your talent to work. I want to introduce now your Superintendent of Missoula County Public Schools, the man who originated the idea of Graduation Matters Missoula. He is as committed to your success as anyone I know. Please welcome Dr. Alex Apostle.
Thank you, Dr. Engstrom. Good morning. Missoula County Public Schools, class of 2017, and guests. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Engen for being the Master of Ceremonies for this important event, and to also thank the University of Montana President, Royce Engstrom, for his continued support and commitment to Graduation Matters Missoula, and for allowing us to use this stadium today to celebrate this event. At this time, I would also like to formally welcome Denise Juneau, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, who has done outstanding work initiating Graduation Matters Montana and is moving the state's agenda towards graduation for all students. Not 80%, not 90%, but every student in the state of Montana graduating from high school. Being here this morning with the class of 2017 to emphasize the importance of high school graduation is truly important. But what is more important is that each one of you out there today ends up over there at the Adams Center in June 2017. Your goal must be to graduate from high school and, yes, go beyond for further training and education, not being satisfied with just graduating from high school, but going on to do great things. Since the next 4 years will go by quickly, we are all going to work together to ensure that June 2017 is a reality for each of you. I know that each one of you, if you put your mind to it, you will graduate easily from high school and go on. Earning a high school diploma is not a dress rehearsal. It's the real deal. Whatever you do or don't do in high school will follow you. Work hard the next 4 years, and your options after high school will be many. You'll have many opportunities. Attend class every day and face all challenges, and you will have challenges, with courage, with confidence, and persevere towards the ultimate. High school graduation in 2017, and yes, a college education. You need to know that everyone here today is with you, and we will support you each and every day as you move towards that very important day in June 2017. Push yourself to the limit to succeed in this high school experience, and go on and make yourself proud and your family proud, your state proud, and your country proud. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Dr. Apostle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not making this up, and just to prove that, we're going to ask an actual graduate, a recent graduate, to tell you his story and provide an inspirational word or two. Folks, Andy Bixler is a Missoula County Public Schools graduate, was a member of the Sentinel class of 2011. And during high school, he was engaged in a number of activities, including band, the swim team, and the student newspaper, the Kona. He's now a student at the University of Montana and is majoring in journalism. Andy Bixler.
Good morning. I'm here to talk to you guys about graduating, obviously, which is something that I managed to do. I don't really know how. I remember when I was your age, we sat in all these rooms and had all these speeches telling us, oh, graduate, graduate. And I listened and I said, I know I'm going to graduate, but I know that's not something that everyone knows. So I want to tell you why you should. I think you should graduate because it's fun. And because after you graduate, things only get harder. And if you have a high school diploma, it makes things a little easier. This is guaranteed the only time you won't have to pay for education in your entire life, which is scary. The biggest reason, though, to me, is that in high school you can have lots of fun. I had a blast when I was in high school. I went to Sentinel, I graduated, I was on the golf team, the swimming team, the tennis team, I was president of the band, and I wrote for the paper. I spent hours on end hanging out with my friends and making new friends. And I hate to admit it, but my dad was right. It was one of the best times of my life. I loved going to football games and basketball games and volleyball games, and once I even went to a soccer game, which was kind of boring, but they were always super fun, and they're memories that I can never get back. I was in bands, I took English and history, took culinary arts, I made a box and wood shop, which was pretty cool. I don't know where it is, but I did key club, I did swim team, and I did those to meet a girl. But I met her, I'm still friends with her, so that counts. I owe a lot to high school. I owe both my jobs that I currently have. I work at Costco and I'm a reporter for the Montana Kaimin here, the school newspaper on school. And I got that job because I was on the school newspaper in high school. I got my job at Costco because I kept the interviewers laughing for 5 minutes when I told them about the time I shaved my legs for state swim meet. I also owe a lot of my friends to high school, and I wouldn't have met them if I had been cutting class or going home and playing video games. One of my very closest friends, Alex Joel, I met him because essentially we looked at each other one day and realized that we did every single thing together. We were around each other 22 hours a day, but we had never spoken to each other. I live with two really good friends that I met in high school. So what I want to say is that if it wasn't for high school, I would be jobless, friendless, homeless, and no one wants that. So stay in school and graduate. It'll be the best time of your life. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Andy. We appreciate that. We'll hear from another student here before too long so that you'll get the real deal one more time. I was just thinking I wasn't on the swim team. Not sure why. Displacement? Enough. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, my next job here is to introduce the person who will introduce our keynote speaker. As it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, among the folks who care about you are folks who care enough to run for election so that they can serve on the school board and help guide the system and your education. And the board president this year at Missoula County Public Schools is none other than Joe Knapp. Joe. Whoops, sorry, Joe. Randomly launching stuff. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, welcome to you all to this third version of this particular program for our incoming class. I was thinking this morning as I was coming over here about my own experiences being in your shoes. It happened exactly 50 years ago. And as I thought about that, two words came to mind. One was opportunity, and you've heard that word a couple of times already today. If you recall your history, it's about 210 years ago that Lewis and Clark meandered their way through the Missoula Valley on their way to the West Coast, having absolutely no idea what they were going to be running into. You're on a similar journey, and you're going to be running into things that you have no clue about at the present time. It's going to be exciting, scary, educational, and hopefully for all of you a growing opportunity to learn more about yourself and more about who you have the opportunity to become. The other thing that came to mind as I thought about high school and my experiences in my freshman year, the other word that came to mind was friendship. I advise you all, look around where the people that you're sitting with right now. Some of these people whom you don't know will end up being lifelong friends. You'll see them at reunions, you'll see them in jobs, you'll see them at football games. These will be some of the most important people in your life as you grow. I encourage you to foster these relationships. I am on the school board. There are a number of other school board members here that I'd like to acknowledge. Mr. Jim Sadler sitting here on the stage. Over to the far left here is Marcia Holland and Mike Smith. And desperately trying to hide in the back here is Rose Dixon, who was sitting in your shoes about 6 years ago and is now a student at the university. So we're all here rooting and hoping for you. And then finally, we have the great pleasure of visiting with you now. We absolutely look forward to the opportunity of shaking your hands on a stage at the Adams Center in 2017. So hang in there. It is now my opportunity and great pleasure to introduce to you Denise Juneau. Denise is the Superintendent of Public Instruction for the state of Montana. She's a graduate of Browning High School, and this university went on to master's degree in education at Harvard and completed a doctorate degree in jurisprudence at the University of Montana. She is now in her second term in the school at the Superintendent of Public Instruction, and I invite her to the stage and to give you many, many words of wisdom.
Hello, everybody, and congratulations to the class of 2017. All of you want to hear those words in 4 years, and that's why we're all gathered here today. And I thank you for the invitation to be here. And it's really an honor to join this community-wide celebration of your commitment to graduate. And as I look around this stadium, or at least half of it, your teachers, your friends, your community are all here to celebrate with you and to let you know that everybody believes in you, that every single one of you has what it takes. You have what it takes to study hard and to learn new ways of looking at the world. You have what it takes to stick through the tough times and to come out stronger as a result of your commitment. You have what it takes to help our world be a better place. In other words, you have what it takes to be a high school graduate. And today is a big deal, having all of you gathered here. However, you must also know that today is just the beginning. Getting an education is really hard work. You have to be willing to show up, to speak up, and to get involved. You will have to work hard to graduate from high school. There are many people across this state who do not graduate from high school. Last year, 1,700 students dropped out of a Montana high school. 1,700. That's more that's gathered here today. So please do not become one of those dropouts. We know each one of you has the abilities and the smarts to finish high school. Live up to our expectations and prove to us that you can do it. Not only should you be gearing up to graduate from high school, but you should also be setting your goals to graduate from college. Yes, you should be talking about it and deciding now to go to post-secondary education, because our state needs scientists, economists, teachers, attorneys, nurses, welders, construction workers, and business people. You are the future of our state, and you are now old enough to make choices for your life. You can now choose to be a passive victim of circumstance, or you can be the active hero in your own life. You cannot wait for things to happen. You have to make it happen in order to make your own future, your own hope. And all of us make mistakes, and you will make many throughout the next 4 years. But we all learn what we can, and we move on. The important thing is to remember that whatever challenges you face, whatever bad luck may befall you, your personal integrity is always in your own hands, and that can never be taken from you. Do not let others define your potential. You need to believe in yourself, even when it seems you may be the only person believing in your talents. It's up to each one of you to prove yourself. And courage will be required of you on many fronts. I certainly never thought I'd be in the position I'm in. After college, I spent several years as a teacher, went on to law school right here at the University of Montana, and then back into education. However, I could never predicted or planned where I find myself today. Now serving as Montana State Superintendent of Public Instruction, the first American Indian woman to be elected to a statewide office in our nation's history. I have learned throughout all those experiences that if you believe in yourself, others will too. And if you have confidence in who you are, there is no end to what you can accomplish. In fact, I know each one of you holds that same initiative and tenacity inside of yourself. All of us here today believe that you have the ability to do anything you want to do as long as you work hard, believe in yourself, and believe in your abilities. So I congratulate you, class of 2017, and I know all of us have great hopes for your future. Thanks.
That was fantastic. Believe in yourself. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hear from a professor right here at the University of Montana, Daisy Rooks, to tell you a little bit about why graduation and you matter. Daisy.
Thank you, Mayor Engen, and it's great to be here today because I believe strongly in the importance of graduation, both from high school and college. I'm going to talk a little bit more about college than high school today because I believe that almost everything good that's happened in my life happened because I attended and graduated from college. I consider myself lucky to have grown up in a family that valued and indeed insisted on college graduation. It was fortunate for me that my parents were so gung-ho about college because from about my first day of high school, I was anxious to be done with high school and go to college. I wanted to see the world, or at least the country. I wanted to meet new people and interact with new teachers. I wanted to gain new perspectives and experiences that were not available in the suburban community that I grew up in. And my parents had convinced me that college was the way to do all this, and the experience did not disappoint. Like many college students, at least today, I changed my major frequently. Okay, I'll be honest. I changed it 4 times in the first 2 years of college. I was a philosophy major, and then a women's studies major, and then a political science major, and then a sociology major. And by the time I finally graduated, I had a major in urban studies. While in college, I took a wide variety of classes. I learned about the Harlem Renaissance, environmental science, contemporary American literature. And this is one of the facts that I'm most proud of. One semester, I even read the Aeneid in Latin. For those of you who don't know it, maybe you'll read the Aeneid in college. It was written by a poet named Virgil sometime between 29 and 19 BC. It's a pretty amazing piece of literature. You should check it out. So a few years after graduating from college, I decided, as some of you in the audience will probably decide, that I wanted to attend graduate school. And a mere 8.5 years later, I had a PhD and was joining the ranks of the people that had inspired me most during my time in college, my professors. A year after that, I arrived at the University of Montana, where I teach sociology and conduct research about schools, the workplace, and American politics. Without a doubt, my college courses prepared me for my career as a professor. In college, I learned how to express myself effectively in writing and verbally. In college, I accumulated a strong and diverse base of knowledge. In college, I learned how to debate passionately and respectfully with my peers and my professors, and even my parents. But the groundwork for all the things that I learned in college was laid much earlier, during high school. I had excellent high school teachers who inspired me to learn. One way that they did this was by asking me to explain how and why I came to the conclusions that I did, rather than just telling me if I was right or wrong. I bet that many of you in the audience have great teachers like this right now. It's true that I wouldn't have been able to accomplish most of the things that I've accomplished in my life without having graduated from high school. But I don't want to end there. I want to leave you with this message. High school graduation is critical, but it's what you do with the skills, experience, and credentials that you gain in high school that is even more important. Good luck this year and in the years that lie ahead, and we look forward to seeing you all at graduation. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Professor Rooks. And our last speaker, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Big Sky High School, is Abby Hege. Abby is a senior at Big Sky. She was born and raised in Missoula, attended Target Range Elementary from kindergarten to 8th grade. Her interests include golf, speech, debate, track, and hanging out with friends, and Abby plans to major in business and own a company when she grows up, and I am going to apply for a job. Abby, come on up.
First of all, I'd just like to say thank you for having me here today. It's really an honor to speak to all of you. I remember sitting where you sit just a few short years ago, and so I'd like to start off by saying is that my guess is you're expecting me to give you a speech and tell you some basic things like go to class, do your homework, and try to do the right thing all the time. But if you want me to be truthful, that's about as far from what I'm going to tell you. High school is not easy. Yeah, I did just say that. It's not going to be easy. You will have hard classes. You will have friends who treat you rough. There will be peer pressure. You might have problems at home. You might watch a classmate or yourself struggle with substance abuse or even see suicides within your own class. But that's just how life is. Those things can't be controlled. So here is some real advice that I think you might actually use. Have a positive role model in your life. For some of you, your parents aren't going to be a positive role model. That's okay. There are many other options. Find a counselor, a teacher, an upperclassman, and make them your role model. Let them have a positive influence on your life. There will be people who do not want you to succeed. There will be people who try to tell you that you aren't good enough. Prove to them that you are good enough. Prove to them that you can and you will be successful. Surround yourself with good friends in your life. I'm sure you all have some good friends in your life, but if you have friends who are going to drag you in the wrong direction, don't let them. One of the most helpful things I have had in high school is a positive group full of teachers and friends. You can also have that. Have some fun along the way. It sounds cliche, but you really will only be this young once. So have some fun in high school and make some good memories. Honestly, now that I'm a senior, looking back on it, it feels like it just went so fast. So cherish the time you have and make good decisions. I believe in the class of 2017, and I believe that you should also. Thank you.
All right, there's a reason that we saved Abby for last. Thank you, Abby, very much. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close out today with a performance that comes from Zane Renault, Mike Graff, Sterling Renault, Tyler Morgan, and they comprise Lyrical Motion. All these folks, ladies and gentlemen, have something to do with Missoula and with rocking the house, as the young people say. Is that what you say? Something like that? Excellent. Lyrical Motion, ladies and gentlemen.
These are awesome. How's everybody doing? There are like 800 of you. I want you to be louder than that. How's everybody doing?
It usually takes like 17 tries for that. At least. Uh-oh, you guys are on the kiss cam. I don't know if I can say that. Might get in trouble. Yeah, raise your hands. It makes it easier to see yourself. Start a wave. Really original. I don't know how we cue our music, but let's do that. That was pretty cool. Yo.
Feel free to stand up and move if you want to. It's kind of cold out.
I wake up every morning and I look in the mirror knowing I'm gonna make it. And you can tell by the gleam in my eyes that it's truthful, ain't no faking. If anybody's gonna doubt my grind, they can take it to someone who cares. By the time they catch up to me, I'll have long since topped the stairs.
Yeah, we built it from the ground up, paper in pockets, and now that we're on our way, there ain't no chance of us stopping. Know that we ain't riding dirty, better bet you we mobbing. We got that young for your ears like the red to the robin. So let's take a second and reflect on it here, where we came from and how we got here. Making moves on the run, you can problem switching gears. From the stairs to the top, you can say we're joining tears. So we put in a team together, upper opportunity, time when we together, dropping something new to me. Ride together, fly together, hitting boost as soon as we're tearing down the walls, and you know we do it brutally, so we got a prescription, and now we gonna fill it. Warrior on the weekend, and we beastie cause we illin'. L to the M, yeah, we breaking out of prison. 2020 sight, cause we're focused on our vision.
Wake up every morning and I look in the mirror knowing I'm gonna make it. And you can tell by the gleam in my eyes that I'm truthful, ain't no faking. Yeah, if anybody's gonna doubt my grind, I can take it to someone who cares. But by the time they catch up to me, I'll have long since topped the stairs.
This is my time. We built it from the ground up, paper from pocket, the stage where you're rocking. We keep it real, no way that we stopping. And you can give me all the medicine, no way that we not sick. Based on the look of the faces, they have a problem. Started at ground zero, just head back to the drawing board. Covered leaps and bounds of ground as we were crawling forward. I'm focused, man, I'm focused on all of the prizes, the game of the horizon. I know that I wrote this, know that when I chose this, I give it my whole heart, my drive and my devotion. I'd like to make a motion, lyrical motion. Built up a dream team and here to make commotion. Amateur in the ring, I'm knocking clowns down. Apartment on that large scale, looking for the brown sound. With the mic I live, with the mic I'm a loudmouth. Classic how I live, so I'm rocking downtown.
I wake up every morning and I look in the mirror knowing I'm gonna make it. And you can tell by the gleam in my eyes that I'm truthful, ain't no faking. If anybody's gonna doubt my grind, they can take it to someone who cares. By the time they catch up to me, I'll have long since topped the stairs. This is my time.
Yeah, I have an empire, you can call it state of mind. It's really how I function, with my head's in overdrive. Trying to be a smart boy, saving up every dime when it comes to rhyming good. I'm tightening up every line. This is a record of my progress and all the things I'm conquering. Headstrong, pen and time, my mind is never wandering away from any goal. Moving forward, no pondering how I'm gonna live when everyone is dead and gone. It seems I gained authority, long live the king. Rappers become a priority, open my worrying with spring. 1,001 different ways to become the rapper that everyone sees. My syllables stating the principles that everyone seems to need. You can feel a shift, you can see me glide. You can finally see the reasons why my mind has come alive. I've turned into a monster, but only through 16. This beat is my full moon, but don't be scared, it's still me.
Wake up every morning and I look in the mirror knowing I'm gonna make it. And you can tell by the gleam in my eyes that I'm truthful, ain't no faking. Yeah, if anybody's gonna doubt my grind, they can take it to someone who cares. By the time they catch up to me, I'll have long since topped the stairs. This is my town.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
What we got?
Excellent lyrical motion, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all once again for being here. Thanks for the folks up here on the stage, particularly Superintendent Juneau, from coming all the way from Helena, Montana, as it turns out, to join us today. If you would pay attention to the big television behind me, we have another message for you. Congratulations, class of 2017. Look forward to seeing you in the field house, getting that diploma. Thanks again for being here.